this is a blessing that no one has received before, except for true parents themselves. Father wanted to be blessed with the Han mother on the perfection level at his birthday in 2013. But that did not happen because of her disobedience and betrayal. And so that blessing of true parents at the perfection level took place in 2017 on September 23rd by the Gregorian calendar. On the heavenly calendar, this was the 8th year of Cheon, the 8th month and 4th day. So this was the blessing. The September 23rd blessing was the blessing that God wanted to give to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. This would be the blessing that Adam and Eve would have received, and would have then begun then to multiply their children and as a tribe and as a nation and the world and cosmic level, so as to build God's kingdom on earth and in heaven. But because of the fall, that did not happen, and then God worked for 6,000 years then to finally make that happen on September 23rd, 2017. So that was a tremendous victory for God, a tremendous victory that no one can take away. But now, though his children and grandchildren need to be blessed. Father often talked about how God created his children in Adam and Eve, of course, a son and a daughter, but he never had grandchildren, and that is to say, the children of Adam and Eve. And now this blessing on February 28th by the Gregorian calendar will be the time when God's grandchildren will be blessed, and then we'll be blessed, expanding then on the tribal level, on the society, nation, and on the world level. So this will be a blessing that is equally important to the September 23rd blessing. It's a tremendous importance. No one in the Family Federation received this blessing. We will be moving beyond any level that anyone in the Family Federation ever achieved before their fall in 2013. So we'll be going to a completely new level that no one in humanity has achieved before, except for true parents themselves. We're not doing this, we're not receiving this because of anything that we have done. It is purely by the grace of God, by the grace of true parents. And God has conducted his salvation providence, his restoration providence over 6,000 biblical years to the point now where we are in the last days. And this is what is happening now in the last days. So to clarify, this is a blessing that everyone in the world should receive. February 28th will not be the only opportunity. This will be, of course, the first opportunity, and then every blessing after this will be conducted on that perfection level. People who have not returned to True Father's authority until now, you can also receive this blessing on February 28th. You do not have to go through two separate blessings. Although if you're ready to receive the blessing to return to True Father's authority now, I would encourage you to do that, because who knows what may happen tomorrow. None of us know when we will be taken to spirit world, so if you're ready to receive that blessing to return to True Father's authority on the growth level today, I would very much encourage you to do that. But even someone who does not receive the blessing to receive True Father's authority before February 28th is qualified, is able to receive this tremendous blessing by the grace of God on February 28th. Of course, you have to be a heterosexual couple, all right, man and woman, and children will also be given the holy wine during this, or in the process of this ceremony. So there's also a new holy wine for this ceremony, and that holy wine has been created, and it is now being distributed throughout the world. Already it has been sent to some continents, and is being sent to others. Because, it is wine, and because it is liquid, our experience in the past is that the Postal Service doesn't always deliver this to the intended destination. And so we are using as much as possible, delivery by human hands. And so But if you have trouble getting it, please contact us, and we will find some way of getting it to you. We will always also use the Postal Service. Although it is a kind of a hit and miss thing, but we will also try to use the Postal Service. You do not have to wait until February 28th to take the holy wine. This can be taken beforehand in preparation for the blessing. We will give information about that, but in each family, the father is the priest of the family. He's the high priest of the family, and so centering on the father, the family can take the holy wine together prior to February 28th, and we do encourage you to do so. But this is going to be a new level that has not been achieved before in human history, and so we encourage as many people as possible to join us on February 28th, either here in Newfoundland or by internet broadcast around the world, or afterwards by video. We want all, ideally all 7 billion people in the world should receive this blessing in February. That would be the best thing possible. That would be the best gift possible that we could give to God and to True Father. But if we cannot do that, then we want as many people as possible, many couples as possible, many families as possible, to receive this wonderful blessing on February 28th, and so that then whatever foundation we are able to create on February 28th, that can be used by God to expand His providence even further throughout the world. And our King is always talking about the relationship between micro and macro. And this is going to affect the world situation. Look how much Jesus, a single human being, look how much He has affected world history over the past 2,000 years. I think that's a good example of the relationship between micro and macro. One man with 12 disciples, one of whom betrayed Him and sent Him to the cross, has now affected the course of human history over the past 2,000 years and created the foundation for an entire civilization. Micro and macro in God's providence is very closely connected. And we've seen that here in the sanctuary church, that conditions that the King sets and that we set under the guidance of the King do affect the macro situation. Think about how much when after the True Mother, Victorious Eve was established, this whole thing about sexual harassment and women speaking out. They couldn't speak out before, but now they are empowered to. All of a sudden, after the True Eve is established, women are empowered. They're hashtag Me Too, empowered to speak out. To me, that is an example of the relationship between micro and macro. I don't know what the relationship will be. I don't know what will happen on the macro level as a result of this foundation, but I know something will happen, and I know that we will be amazed. That much I do know, because we already have that kind of experience many times here. So I encourage everyone, if possible, to join us by internet broadcast if you cannot be here in Newfoundland. And it's not necessary to come here, all right? It's not necessary to come here. Of course, we would like to have as many people here as possible, but we have a limited space here. We cannot take more than a couple, maybe 300 couples or something like that here. We hope that thousands of couples will participate, and so obviously the majority of people participating in this blessing will be doing so remotely in other parts of the world. First of all, to review, in February 2013, at the False Foundation Day, the blessings of every one of us who participated was taken away by the Han Mother together with Satan. That was a tremendous tragedy. She fell. It was her decisive fall to unite with Satan, and then also Satan took away all our blessings. Because you got to understand, Satan has been fighting God's providence, the progress of God's providence, with every means available. And what Father brought to this world as the returning Jesus, as the returning Christ, was the Word of God and the lineage of God. And so after Father's passing, after Father Songha, Satan attacked these points. He attacked the Word of God by working through the Han Mother to change his word, to change the 8 great textbooks, to desecrate those textbooks when Father said to do not change them. And the other thing he did was he destroyed as many blessings as he could. He took back to his lineage as many blessed central families as he could. And that is what happened to all of us who participated in that false foundation day, or took the holy wine that was associated with that false foundation day that was held by the solar calendar in February 2013. Then after February 2013, there was a 3-year course until Father's birthday in 2016, by which we could recover the blessing that Father had given us. Unfortunately, about 3,000 families, actually more than 3,000 families, were able to do that. And if you figure at least one child per family, then about 10,000, or more than 10,000 people, I would say, were able to return, to actually not just return, but to recover True Father's authority. So if someone was in the 30,000 couple blessing under Father, and they recovered that blessing during that 3-year period, they are still 30,000, still in 30,000 couple. Those people did not need to perform a 40-day separation, 3-day ceremony, and indemnity stick again. They, by the grace of True Father, our blessing was recovered. After February 2016, after Father's birthday in February 2016, the situation changed. Of course, people can still return to True Father's authority. All humanity can come to True Father's authority. But now, those who return are not recovering their previous blessings. They must now go through the process of a change in the blood lineage again. And so that is why when, for example, let's take the same 30,000 couple under True Father's authority, from True Father, if they received that, but they did not return to True Father's authority, could not recover that blessing by True Father's birthday in 2016, then now they must be blessed, not as a 30,000 couple, but they have a new blessing group under the second king. And they now must go through the process of changing their blood lineage again. Because remember, they were taken into Satan's blood lineage in February 2013. So if they're returning after 2016, February 2016, this applies today, they must go through that change of blood lineage process again. So that means the holy wine, that means the 40-day separation after the blessing, that means the 3-day ceremony after receiving a prayer from a pastor or pastor figure. That means the indemnity stick. This is the situation today. So, how does this apply to the blessing that is coming up? Well, the same rules are still in effect. So, those who recovered our blessings before True Father's birthday in 2016 still have that blessing. We still have God's lineage. So, we do not need to go through a 40-day separation, 3-day ceremony, etc. We do not need to change our blood lineage because right now we are carrying God's lineage. Those who return to True Father's authority after February 2016 and went through the 40 days separation, 3 days ceremony, etc., you have also changed your blood lineage back to True Father's lineage, to God's lineage. So also after this blessing, you will also not need to go through that situation again, because although you lost your blessing, you returned to True Father's authority after February 2016, but now you are carrying heaven's lineage. So also there's no need there to go through this process after the upcoming lineage. Now those who are returning to True Father's authority through this blessing, you must then go through that change of blood lineage ceremony. So it's all about lineage. It's all about lineage. And remember that the Bible is actually a history of the battle of two lineages, really. God's lineage and Satan's lineage. And that battle is going on today. We are in that battle, whether we like it or not. And our goal should be to make sure that when we go to the spirit world, we go there with True Father's lineage, with the lineage of heaven, not the other one. Okay, because it's only when we carry True Father's lineage that we will be connected to True Father. I know there must be a lot of questions. What if Family Federation made me drink this or anything? So we can, if you, for one thing, you can look at the rulings of the King online, and those will answer most of your questions. But if you really cannot know, then please send your questions to Sanctuary Church at sanctuary-pa.org, and we'll try to answer them as quickly as we can. We're dealing with 7 billion people here, so but we will do our best to answer as quickly as we can. All right? So in the end, it's going to be God's final victory. Getting there sometimes may be tough, sometimes may be heartbreaking, especially in the case of the second generation, because the second generation also lost their status in February 2013, and those who did not return before Father's birthday in 2016 became first generation, and so there's a lot of heartbreaking stuff going on. But in any situation, there's always a way forward to victory. All right? Thank you.